Right. Good evening, everyone. This is the November 13th meeting of the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Task Force. My name is Shala Fleming. I'm the vice chair of the committee, and we will call the meeting to order at 7:31 p.m. If you would, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
Pledge
to the
allegiance to
flag
the flag of the
of the
United
United
States
States of
of
America
America,
and to the
to
republic
the
for
republic
which it
which it
stands,
stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible, with
divisible, with
liberty and
liberty
justice
and
for
justice
all.
for all.
Thank you. We will now move ahead to roll call. I will take a note from John and just name that in addition to myself, I am joined by Rick Bolton, David Rosenberg, Rodney Gray. We have our clerk, Joanne Glass-Orenstein, Jim Cordone, attorney, Bill Chen, technology, and we have one of our guests, Jenny Zambrano, who is here joining us this evening. Next, we'll move to correspondence. And so we have received one bit of correspondence to our edit email, which John previously circulated from town member Scott Kerr, who, just to summarize the email briefly, was acknowledging and appreciating our ongoing work and the efforts and steps that we have taken in the last several months. And also provided some helpful feedback around our minutes. And also, I think I took it to be also in our meetings, making sure that we are clear with any acronyms, what the acronyms stand for. And so that is something that we can be sure to clarify as we move through our meetings in the future. So we'll move next to public comment. Bill, is there anyone?
Yes, if there's any member of the public who would like to make a comment at this time, please raise your hand by clicking the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen. Does not appear that we have any takers.
Okay, thank you. So we'll move on to approval of the minutes from our October 9th, 2025 meeting. We need a motion, please.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
There's a second.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion of the minutes from our last meeting? Okay, hearing none, we will go ahead and vote to approve those minutes. My recollection is everyone was here, but I think Joanne, can you confirm, was anyone who's present today not present at that meeting? Okay, so all in favor? Okay, so that carries unanimously. All four in favor. Thank you. Next, we will move to agenda item 7, which is discussion with members of SEPTA, which stands for Special Education PTA, Parent Teacher Association. And so we'd like to welcome Jenny Zambrano, who is here with us this evening. I know that we also extended an invite to Sarah Murray, but I'm not sure if she's able to join us. And so oh, sorry, go ahead, Jenny.
I think she's trying to log in just in case. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So the committee, hopefully you remember that at our last meeting, we had received correspondence from Jenny in relationship to some challenges with specific programming for some students. Hey, good evening, Sarah, welcome. For some students here in Trumbull, the SRP program. The committee was interested in additional information about the concerns. At the time, I was also able to relay that as I followed the SEPTA website and received information that the situation had been resolved in collaboration with the Board of Education, but the committee was still interested in just hearing a little bit more about, sort of what the situation was and also how the resolution came to be with the Board of Education. So we have Jenny and Sarah joining us this evening to share a little bit about that. So we'll turn it over to both of you all.
Thank you, Chala, and thank you everyone for having us here this evening and giving us the opportunity, to speak to everyone. And also thank you, for serving as a partner, because I did try to turn to Chala, because I think partnerships sometimes in times as those, it's really valuable. So the course of action that happened was that we received a letter, an official letter, which was then circulated through all social media. But it went out to all SRP parents from the Director of Special Education. And the letter basically said that they were trying to implement an ARC initiative. It's an acronym that stands for Analysis, Reflection, and Collaboration. And it's an initiative that they were intending to implement in school year 27 next year. And that ultimately, in order to implement that initiative successfully, they would have to send all the children of the SRP program, Specialized Resource Program, home early by an additional 90 minutes every other week. So that meant, when we totaled up the hours, it's about a decrease of instructional time by more than 40 hours for the school year. In addition, later on, I found out to some reductions in school time that have already been implemented in the Trumbull Public School District, which I was not aware of at that time. But ultimately, this ARC initiative, analysis, reflection, and collaboration, from my understanding, which, we quickly started to do research, we do have an SRP committee. We have representatives to the Frenchtown School and to the Middlebrook School. Between both schools where this SRP program exists, we have about 70 children that would have been impacted if this initiative would have gone through. So the research that we did is we tried to find out, what is this initiative? What is it that they're trying to do? And quite honestly, when you read about it, it does seem like it's a powerful framework that is supposed to improve the SPED instructional time that they receive. It is supposed to monitor the IEP progress for each of the different children, where the teachers come together, they start evaluating all the intervention models that are put in place for the child. They continue to review it and iterate if needed, if their plans in place are not effective. It even does equity checks across all the different subgroups. After that, they then need meeting time in order to do a reflection on each of the child's progress. And if that child is not progressing, there's supposed to be a collaboration time, not only between the teachers, from the research that we did, it's supposed to even involve the parents, even up to the superintendent. So it's supposed to be almost like a community effort. So at the time, that this was shared with us, a lot of parents reached out. We were meeting separately in the evenings to talk about, this initiative and having the children get sent back. We got a lot of good feedback on other possibilities of rolling out this initiative, but not sending the children home early. Because the email was circulated on multiple platforms, I had, SEPTA presidents to all the neighboring towns that also reached out to us, to me specifically, just to say that they wouldn't want this to happen in the Trumbull Public School District, because their fear was that this will then start to trickle out to the other neighboring school districts as well. So that, so we, all the all the SEPTA presidents came together to also, quite honestly, they thought that I should speak to a lawyer to even determine if this was legal to do, because it was just to a special group of population. At the same time, as parents were reaching out, honestly, quite frantically, and joining these meetings, conversations where we were trying to brainstorm on different solutions, we had parents that wanted to take this to not just on Trumbull Times news channel, they wanted to take it to the Connecticut Times. They had connections. So I believe the director reached out to me. He requested a meeting quickly, and me and an SRP committee representative, we met with them and we discussed the situation. They thought, because they gave us advance notice a year in advance, that the parents would be happy, so it would give them logistical time to plan for childcare if needed. But quite honestly, I was frank with them that the extent that parents were going to go to almost exploit this entire situation, and that it wasn't just parents, that it was even all the neighboring towns, that I could only contain the situation so much. And that at the end of the day, SEPTA, with all the different initiatives that we're, trying to implement, that I am trying to build a partnership with the schools so that it's in everyone's best interest. That when I read about this ARC initiative, I feel even right now that it is a great initiative. It does seem like a powerful framework. I would like to see it implemented. And at the same time, the State Senator Sujata, on the news, it was being reported that she received $30 million into her districts. So I started reaching out to her as well to get advice if that funding can be used, for these purposes, if at the end of the day it had to do about money. So I recently connected with her, and the good news is, yes, they rescinded the letter. They said that for now they don't plan to implement this. But my plan, and with State Senator Sujata is on board, is that she did say that her funding is specifically to fund paraeducators and any special education staff. That's what it's specifically for. It's not to fund any administrative expense. So if they need money to add additional either substitutes or paras to service these children while the other teachers implement this ARC initiative, she said to please, start a meeting with the superintendent and the director, and she would like to join so she can help to educate our school district on how to properly use this funding. And quite honestly, like, I would just like to work with the school district in order to implement this down the road and make it happen, make it be successful, help our children and elevate them, and hopefully there's funding for that as well.
Thank you so much for that update. Sarah, I don't know if you wanted to add anything to that. I know we're going to talk about the summer camp fundraising and things y'all are doing also. So
yeah, I don't. I just really wanted to congratulate Jenny on handling this situation so professionally and using collaboration and respect with the Board of Ed. I feel like it's a big success for SEPTA, and Jenny did a great job.
thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions from the committee?
I was just wondering when the Board of Ed rescinded the policy, did they say anything, or did they just say we're just rescinding it?
The letter that was shared was that for now they're rescinding it because they heard so much feedback from all the different parents and the groups. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
My question is, when you say children, what are the age ranges we're talking about here?
SRP, to my understanding, exists only in the elementary. I believe it's called something else once you start getting into the middle school and the high school. So it's maybe it even starts at the tech ed level, Sarah, and I'm not too sure, but it's kindergarten through 5th grade.
So that's where the primary issues are, kindergarten through 5th grade. You're not finding any challenges beyond those grades?
Not at the moment, because I think SRP and at the elementary level seems to be kind of like the hardcore programming where I think once it gets to the middle school, what I'm hearing some parents mention is that they don't even know if SRP really exists the way that it does at the elementary level as well.
Okay, thanks.
What does SRP stand for?
Specialized Resource Program.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Jenny. Any other questions from the committee? I would just, I actually echo what Sarah shared just about how you handled this. And I think it does set a wonderful precedent for the importance of collaboration and the importance of multiple perspectives. As you described, the intention of the ARC program, it actually sounds like it's incredibly important to get in place at some point, but sounds like there's potentially some more work to do to ensure that it can be rolled out effectively and not in a way that causes strife and discomfort for families. So definitely appreciate your leadership there. So when you all were with us last time, you also talked about the intentions of trying to get an adaptive summer camp in place. And I believe you've gotten some fundraising off of the ground to be able to try to make that happen. So we'd love to hear a little bit more about that as well.
I'll turn it over to Sarah to walk us through, and I can jump in at any point because it's getting bigger and bigger. Yeah.
It is, yeah. I'm really pleased to update you on our progress. We have gotten a few fundraisers off the ground. Most recently, we had a partnership with Crown Pizza where we invited families to use a special code to order some dinner, and we received a portion of those proceeds back to SEPTA for the Summer Camp Initiative. We also have a Give Butter campaign, which is where you can just directly give dollars to the summer camp program. You can sponsor a child with the expected tuition. You can also just add whatever funds that you feel you want to contribute to this initiative. We also have an in-person fundraiser happening November 21st at a restaurant in Shelton, where we'll gather as a community, not only to discuss the summer camp, but also just to socialize and to create community. I'll put the link in the chat here if I can. But that is called Sip, Savor, and Support, and it's been posted on some of the town channels, and it is open to the public. If you all are interested in attending, we'd love to have you. And then otherwise, outside of fundraising, we most recently had a meeting with Dr. Semmel, Dean Catalano, Kevin Dion, and Noreen Will-Paziski. Noreen is from Parks and Rec. Kevin Dion is one of the facilities managers. And then, of course, Dean Catalano from PPS, and then Dr. Semmel, superintendent. And we really discussed in great detail the summer camp. Jenny and I have been working with a small committee month by month on progress. We are actively looking for a program director currently. We have a finalized job description, and we would like to circulate that more broadly to try to bring in some candidates to actually lead the camp. And then, as we mentioned in the last call with you all, ultimately our goal is to nest the camp under Parks and Rec. And that's for a number of reasons. And that's going to be a bit more of a challenge than we expected because Parks and Rec has limits to what they can provide for a program director salary. And because our program director will need specific training and specific experience, we'd like to offer more per hour to this individual. So that's an open question that we're tackling right now. But we feel good about the position that we're in. We're also working with the facilities manager to try to secure some space in the Frenchtown schools, because what we'd like to do, and we think is paramount, is to have a connection with the ESY program. So that way students who are in ESY can transition seamlessly into the camp for fun and enrichment. So Jenny and I, and we have two other committee members, Corey Simpson and Kaylin Ferreris, we're working really hard. We believe in this program. This is a passion project for us. We feel good about where we're at, but we still have some obstacles to clear.
Thank you so much. Joanne, I know there were a couple other acronyms in there, ESY, Extended School Year, and PPS, Pupil Personnel
Hold on, wait.
Services.
ESY,
ESY is Extended School Year.
And PPS is Pupil, Jenny, do you know? PPS
Personnel
is special
Services,
education.
I think.
Yeah.
Pupil Personnel Services.
Personnel.
Pupil
Mhm.
yeah, okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. That sounds.
I'm sorry, I have
Oh,
one
sorry,
other
yep.
question. So I got that you met with Noreen from Parks and Rec, Dr. Semmel, and Dean Catalano. There was one more person that
Kevin Dion, and her last name is Will Pesiski, which I think is WILPESISKI.
and Kevin is from where?
Facilities manager.
Director of
Yeah.
operations, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but he manages the schools and construction on the schools, maintenance to the schools, things like that.
Yeah. I was gonna add to what Sarah said. When we spoke to Dr. Semmel, one of the things that we're thinking about is also he mentioned that they recently did some capital improvements to the HVAC system at Middlebrook, which then we have air conditioning, which is another condition that we're not willing to let go of, because our children do need not only outside time but also indoor time during the summer months. So Dr. Semmel said, because we do have HVAC at the Middlebrook, that they're going to look into trying to see if they can move ESY to Middlebrook, so then we can host a summer camp there, and possibly it not being a spacing issue, since a lot of programs tend to be at Frenchtown currently.
And Chala, I apologize. I thought I was on Google Meet. I don't see a chat feature, so I'll just send you the link to the fundraiser, and you can
That'd be great.
distribute
We can
if you'd
circulate
like
it to
to.
the committee. Yes,
Okay,
thank you
thank
so
you.
much. That's awesome. That's great progress to have made, and I can't remember exactly when you all were here last time, but you know, that's just a couple months time, and it sounds like you've made really great progress. So that is exciting to hear. Any questions from the committee?
Yes, so the summer camp is at Middlebrook? Is that
Well, that's an open question. Yeah, right now ESY is held at Frenchtown, and so we're aiming for Frenchtown, but we also have heard that Middlebrook may be a suitable location as well. So ultimately, we want to be where the ESY program is, because then that way we don't have to think about busing the children from one location to another for the camp. We want them to just basically go to ESY in the morning and then attend the camp in the afternoon.
Fundraising, and excuse me, I really don't know how this works. So there are no cost to parents to
There will
attend
be
this event?
tuition. Yeah, no, I'm really glad you asked this question. So we do anticipate tuition, like, with other camps in town, the Parks and Rec camps, the continuing ed camps all charge tuition, but we like to offset as much of the cost as possible using fundraising and grants. So not only would that cover the upstart costs, materials that we want to buy, things like that, but also to defray the cost of tuition for each family.
Okay. And you are also going to have some I don't know, something on the site or materials that way you can need some assistance, like all the kids want to volunteer to help or anything like that, or
Oh yeah, we are looking for qualified individuals to be the counselors of the group, but we're also eventually we'll be looking for high school students or college age students to be support and assistance for the children. But one of our paramount concerns is the safety of each individual child and meeting their needs. And so staffing is a big topic of conversation when we have our meeting.
Okay, I can understand that. Thanks.
All right. Well, we thank you both for being with us again this evening, and look forward to your continued progress and to continue to be able to collaborate with you all. So thank you so much. And you're welcome to stay, but also welcome to head off. And we appreciate you all for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chala, and
Thank
thank
you
you
very much.
everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Okay, so we will move next to old business. First item of old business is the diversity training. And there's actually, as of today, some additional information here. So as you all know, a date was confirmed for December 9th. And that date is still, we're still moving ahead towards that date. Tom McCarthy from the town is working to confirm a location, but the timing will be from 9 to 1. And the I believe it's members of, hold on, let me get the exact language. Members of the cabinet, give or take, it is who will be attending this training. Tom had a different way of naming it that I am forgetting. Senior staff employees will be attending this half-day training on the 9th from 9 to 1. And so this is an initiative that's been in the works for quite a while now. And so we are, I think, nearly there and being able to get this this training off of the ground. And so that is good news. Any questions or discussion?
Just wanted to say it's been quite a journey, and
Yeah.
finally making it over the hill to get some progress.
Yes. Great. Next item of old business is book club. And so last time we met, we agreed upon the title Uncomfortable Conversations with a Jew. And so we will be reading that book and have let Kathleen at the library know. She is working on getting copies available at the circulation desk. She shared with us 2 potential dates. And so want to spend just a minute trying to decide between the 2 if anyone has a preference. And so she is currently holding Monday, January 26th and Monday, February 2nd. Both would be from 6 to 7 p.m. as they've been previously in the community room. So any thoughts from the group about a preference between those 2, or one maybe working better than the other?
Said January 26th. What was the second date?
February 2nd, both Mondays.
Equally as good, equally as bad.
Yeah, my inclination is that we would go with February 2nd, just because it's a week further out than today, and we can make sure that we start advertising and give folks time to pick up the book and read. And so if everyone's okay with that, yeah, sorry, Rick, were you gonna say something?
No, February would be better.
Okay, great. So unless there's any objections, we'll go ahead and submit that date to Kathleen, and then we'll get some advertising going to let folks know what we're going to do next. Next item of old business is invitations to future meetings. And so there are also some updates here. John was able to send emails to 9 department heads in the town and has received responses from 5 so far. All responses were favorable in either immediately saying, yes, I'll be there, or saying I will have a conversation to talk about like what it could look like to potentially do this. And so that's good news. We had one department head who actually wanted to or offered to come to our December meeting. And I believe it was the Director of Human Services, Miss Michelle. Forgive me, I may be saying it wrong, but Jacob, maybe. And so
Jacob.
Thank you. So unless there's objections from the committee, we would like to extend an invitation to have her join us in December. And again, she's the Director of Human Services for the town of Trumbull. Any objections? Okay, great. So then we can circle back with her and get her set up to come next time. We also did receive responses from Dr. Semmel, from Rena Bacalar, from who's joined us once before, from Joan Littlefield, Director of Health. And we also received a response from Stefan Lynn Nielsen at the library. And so hopefully we'll be able to kind of get some momentum going with getting our department heads to be able to join us in committee meetings. The last item of old business is the town survey. And so John also was able to send the draft of the survey that our committee approved to members of First Selectman Tesoro's office to share the survey, to ask for feedback, and to ask for support in how we can distribute the survey. And so we have not yet gotten a response. That just went out very recently. So we have not gotten a response yet, but are hopeful that we'll be able to meet with First Selectman Tesoro to figure out a plan to get that survey going as well. So that is it for old business. Any questions or further discussion there? Okay, great. So then we'll move on to new business, of which we just have one item, which is a report from Rodney regarding his community forum that happened on November 1st. So Rodney, we'll turn it over to you to give you an opportunity to share about the program.
Oh, yes, thank you. Well, it was a lot of work, really exhausting. It paid off. It worked out really nicely. The two people who could speak on it aren't here tonight. That would be John and Jennifer. So I haven't had a chance to debrief with them yet. But overall, I thought that it was very successful with the Senator, Will Cox, Lorenzo Boyd, and David, who will be doing the training for our town, and also Audrey Felson, criminal defense attorney, and just talking about a myriad of topics in terms of our rights as citizens, what possible laws can be eradicated, how to educate ourselves, addressing topics like on immigration, and just a variety of things. But when it comes to the laws and where we are today as Americans, it was also, I appreciated Bridgeport Police Chief Porter also attended, gave a lot of perspective when it came to how social media could be used as a tool to be biased. They talked about where we are with ICE and where we are in terms of threats from ICE in the state of Connecticut. That was brought up. I did an event 2 years ago with my employer where we did. I met a captain of state police at the time, and he was able to send representation for Connecticut State Police. So we're all be in conjunction in terms of doing events in the future. So again, I have to debrief with John and Jennifer, and there is a replay for that's available for you to watch. I highly recommend to use closed captions on it, because it does get a little muffly at some points. And if you choose to watch the video and want to have a conversation, coffee's on me.
Thank you, Rodney. That sounds like it was an excellent program. If you would maybe just circulate the link to the group's emails so that folks can take a look at that if they'd like to, that would be wonderful. That brings us to item number 10, which is adjournment. So we'll entertain a motion. Oh, sorry, Joanne.
Sorry. I just need to suggest that for the next agenda, you put on the meeting calendar for 2026.
Yes, thank you. We'll be sure to do that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, thank you. Motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? All right, thank you, everyone.
Yep. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Have a good one.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I
everyone.
think John Trout's job is in trouble, Chala. You did excellent.
Did I nail it?
This was
Nailed it.
this was very efficient. Very